Clash Royale has seen some absolutely broken card combinations throughout the years. While some combos totally obliterate towers, some others don't even let you break through. So today we're ranking the top 15 best card combos in Clash Royale. At number 15, we have Ram Rider plus Lightning. This is one of the deadliest combos on offense. Even though it's an extremely expensive combo, the value and damage you get out of this is insane! The Ram Rider deals bonus damage if she charges to your opponent's towers, but her charge can be stopped by buildings and some heavy damage dealing troops. That's where the Lightning comes in! Lightning one-shots mostly every building and ranged troop in the game. This allows your Ram Rider to charge directly towards the towers instead of getting distracted by any building. The Lightning also clears out whatever troops your opponent deploys. Plus, you get a ton of spell damage on the tower. This single combo can totally destroy your enemy's tower in one push. The Lightning often catches enemies by surprise and they aren't able to react in time. This results in the Ram Rider getting way too much damage, which ends up taking their tower. At number 14, we have Goblin Drill plus Snowball. This is seriously one of the most annoying card combos in Clash Royale. The play is simple. You drop the Goblin Drill on a tower. Your enemy will have to drop something close to their tower in order to defend, but your Snowball is gonna knock back whatever they deploy. The enemy troops will be pushed away from the goblins and they will get a ton of damage on the tower. The play is extremely hard to counter and therefore many players hate it. But wait, it doesn't end here. This combo becomes even more broken when you use the Evolved Snowball, because it doesn't push back the enemy troops. It literally teleports them towards the back, away from the Goblin Drill. No matter what troops your enemy deploys, they won't be able to counter the drill. This play is guaranteed damage every time. This combo is literally the reason why Goblin Drill decks dominate Clash Royale. At number 13, we have the Giant plus Graveyard. There are 3 double win condition combos in this list, and this is the first one of them. Possibly one of the most hated combos of the pros, Giant Graveyard has been at the top of Clash Royale for years now. The strategy is simple. You place your Giant and then deploy the Graveyard directly on the enemy's tower. Now, this is extremely hard to defend for your opponent. The Giant is gonna tank for the Graveyard and soak hits from everything, but how's the opponent supposed to defend the Graveyard? They can't place a single target unit, building, or even a splash card. All of them will allow the Graveyard to get a lot of damage. The only counter is to place swarms. But if your opponent plays his swarms, you can instantly nuke them out with arrows. Now, your opponent has no response and their tower is 100% going down. This is a highly aggressive combo, so while you might take a tower, you will also have to deal with a massive counter push. So try to play it more in double elixir so that you can have some elixir in tank to defend the enemy push. Not gonna lie, I find this combo extremely frustrating. But what about you? If you hate Giant Graveyard just as much as I do, hit that like and subscribe button. At number 12, we have the Expo plus Tesla. This pair basically created the Siege playstyle, and it still works today. One big reason this combo even exists is because Tesla only takes up a tiny 2x2 space. That means you can place it right beside your Expo at the bridge. No other building can do that, which makes this combo really special. The Expo shoots from your side of the arena and does great single target damage, but it struggles against swarms and big tanks. That's exactly where the Tesla helps. Tesla pops up only when needed, hits both air and ground troops, and melts threats like Hog Rider, minions, giants, and even golems. It clears the way for your Expo, and once your Expo locks onto their tower, your opponent basically loses right away. This combo has been one of the most controversial combos in Clash Royale this entire year. Some hate it, some like it, and some just deny that any skill is even required to play this combo. But what are your opinions? Let me know in the comments. At number 11, we have Hog Rider plus Firecracker. This card combo is one of the most popular combos in Clash Royale. It's a very aggressive play, but a highly rewarding one too. You see, you deploy your Hog Rider on the bridge. Now, your opponent can do 2 things. They can either respond with a building, or they can deploy some troop in a straight line as the Hog Rider. If they choose to do the latter, you can drop your Firecracker on the bridge. She will shoot at the opponent's troop in a straight line, dealing burst damage to both the troop and the opponent's tower. This is a very sneaky way to get damage. Even the best players aren't able to prevent it every time. The key is to be unpredictable. Don't always use this combo. Use it when your opponent least expects it. While they are distracted by the Hog Rider, the Firecracker will finish off their towers, and if somehow you get an evolved Firecracker shot on the tower, that's just so much damage. Coming in at number 10, we have a sneaky combo, Graveyard plus Freeze. This pair works best when your opponent doesn't expect it. Most Graveyard players use Poison, so many people will never see the Freeze coming. Graveyard alone is already scary because of all the random skeleton spawns. But when you add Freeze on top, it becomes a nightmare to defend. If your opponent doesn't have Poison, this combo will almost always get huge damage. It's especially strong in mid-ladder, where players usually panic against surprise attacks. Just remember one important thing: after your push ends, you'll probably face a big counter push. You spent a lot of elixir, so your defense has to be really good. If you can handle that, this combo will give you insane value and win you tons of games. At number 9, we have one of my favorite old school combos in Clash Royale, Executioner plus Tornado, also known as Exenado. There aren't many ways to explain how strong this combo is on defense because it's just that crazy. You can stop a 20 elixir push with only these 2 cards. Tornado pulls every troop into the middle, and the Executioner slices through all of them again and again. The evolved Executioner absolutely annihilates every troop in the game, so having him makes this combo even more broken. The pushback from the evolved Executioner ensures that he survives longer and destroys the entire enemy's push. Your whole beatdown push can disappear in 2 seconds. Yup, that's the power of Exenado, but it's not only a defensive threat. On offense, you can make some clever plays to get the Executioner splashing the enemy tower for extra damage. This combo shows up a lot in Hog Exenado and Minor Exenado decks, and is a major reason why decks like these have survived for so long in Clash Royale. Next up, at number 8, we have the Lumberjack plus Balloon combo, also known as Lavaloon. These 2 cards work together almost perfectly. The Lumberjack is super fast and hits hard, but he doesn't live very long, and that's actually the whole point. When he dies, he drops a rage spell, and the balloon becomes a total monster under that rage. Even one balloon hit is scary, but a raged balloon? It can take a tower all by itself. Most Lavaloon decks also include Freeze, which makes this combo even more dangerous. You think you defended the balloon, then boom, Freeze hits, and your tower disappears. Decks like P.E.K.K.A. Lavaloon Freeze and Bowler Lavaloon Freeze show exactly why this push feels almost impossible to stop. If you play this combo, you can flip the match in a single moment. Regardless of how much behind you are in the match, one good Lavaloon push is all it takes. Coming in at number 7, we have one of the most hated combos of all time, Electro Giant plus Tornado. You can complain about it, you can rage about it, but you can't deny that these 2 cards are just meant to be played together. The Electro Giant deals big damage and zaps every troop that gets close to him, but his range is tiny. And that's exactly why the Tornado is so important. Tornado drags every defending troop right into the Electro Giant's shock zone. The troops try to damage him, but they just get stunned again and again until they get wiped out. This combo needs almost no skill, but it gives a crazy amount of value. Just keep in mind that you don't activate your opponent's king tower by mistake when you deploy the Tornado on offense. This combo is basically free wins against bad players, and that's why it's so popular, especially for lower arena players who want easy wins with a simple but deadly push. At number 6, we have the Miner plus Balloon combo. This is probably the highest skill card combo on this list. You need to make constant predictions using your Miner to snipe enemy troops trying to attack your balloon. It's a high-risk combo, but an extremely rewarding one too. A couple of balloon hits, and the tower is gone. The balloon is a flying win condition, and let's be real, most decks have only 1 or 2 cards to counter air. So if your Miner can take out those cards, your balloon basically has a free path to destroy the towers. But even if you don't snipe the enemy troops with a Miner and just use it to tank for the balloon, the push is still hard to defend. Most of the times, you will get some minor chip damage and a balloon's death damage. That alone is over 500 HP worth of damage. At number 5, we have one of the favorite card combos of pros, Royal Giant plus Fisherman. The Royal Giant can deal heavy damage from a distance, but unfortunately, unlike other tanks like Golem or Lava Hound, the Royal Giant doesn't have a ton of hit points. That makes him vulnerable against heavy damage dealing troops like P.E.K.K.A. or Prince. But that's where his synergy with Fisherman benefits him. The Fisherman can pull heavy damage dealing troops away from the Royal Giant. This makes those retarget towards the Fisherman, thus ignoring the Royal Giant. The opponent isn't able to do much if you successfully manage to pull their counter away from the Royal Giant. He gets a lot of damage and can win you games in just a few pushes. At number 4, we have the cheap but effective combo of Miner plus Wall Breakers. This card combo costs just 5 elixir, but the value it provides is just amazing. First of all, this push is really hard to stop. The Miner tanks for the Wall Breakers, who are extremely fast and are at the enemy tower in a blink of an eye. The opponent is forced into a negative elixir trade trying to defend against this combo. There aren't really any cheap options to defend this push without taking any damage. You can receive damage from the Miner or from a Wall Breaker connection or from both. Either way, you're cooked. Forcing out so many negative elixir trades from your opponent is the reason why Miner Wall Breakers is one of the most popular decks in Clash Royale. Pros love this combo because of its insane outplay potential. Having the evolved Wall Breakers makes this combo even more deadly. Regardless of how your opponent tries to defend, those Wall Breakers will always find some way to connect to the tower. And that's just really frustrating. At number 3, we have Graveyard plus Poison. This card combo is a true classic that's been strong since the early days of Clash Royale. Unlike Graveyard Freeze, which wins by surprising your opponent, Graveyard Poison wins by slowly chipping the tower down again and again until it finally falls. The Graveyard is already tricky to counter because the skeletons appear in random spots. Your opponent is forced to drop troops to defend, and that usually leads to a bad elixir trade for them. Poison fits perfectly with this. It punishes every defensive card they place, wiping out swarm units like archers, skeleton army, and minions. Even medium health troops like Musketeer or Electro Wizard aren't able to survive this combo. The synergy with Poison allows the Graveyard's skeletons to sneak in extra hits, and since Poison takes care of most defenders, you don't have to stress about a counter push afterward. Graveyard plus Poison is all about patience. You don't rush, you wait, defend well, and strike at the right moment. If you love a calm, defensive playstyle, this combo is basically made for you. At number 2, we have Lava Hound plus Balloon, more commonly known as Lavaloon. It's probably the most famous and powerful offensive pair in all of Clash Royale. It's an air attack that feels almost unstoppable when done right. The Lava Hound acts as a giant flying tank, soaking up all the damage, while the balloon floats right behind it and drops massive bombs on your opponent's tower. The Lava Hound doesn't do much damage on its own, but its job is simple: distract everything and protect the balloon. And when it finally pops, it splits into lava pups that add even more pressure. Meanwhile, the balloon goes straight for buildings and hits like a truck. Because the Lava Hound takes all the hits, the balloon usually reaches the tower at full health, and even 1 or 2 drops can change the whole match. Sometimes it can destroy a tower in a single push. Lavaloon has stayed strong for years, and even players who prepare for it often struggle to stop it. It's literally called an anti-meta deck for a reason. It's a top-tier strategy, and when it works, it feels absolutely unstoppable. At number 1, we have the most reliable combo in the whole game, Miner plus Poison. This combo is strong, simple, and works in almost every meta. The Miner sneaks to the tower and chips away little by little, while the Poison clears out all the swarm units that normally stop him. Skeleton army, minions, goblin gang, they all melt inside the Poison. Because of its consistency, safety, and chip potential, Miner plus Poison takes the crown as the best combo in Clash Royale. This combo proves how important it is to pair the right spell with your win condition. Unfortunately, most players have no clue about this. Since you are probably one of them, click on this video to learn about how to pair spells with your win condition.